Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome, warm welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is pretty much where I just like document like daily life, as a mom, a first-time mom, and just just family vlogs. Um, Last time I was here was more than a year and a half ago. I was talking about my C-section experience. That was literally the last video I did, and I don't know what happened. I was actually supposed to be more active, and I don't know, the first year kind of took over, and here we are. So I'm back officially, and let's just say that we made it. We made it past the first year. Um, I was meaning to make this video like right as soon as we hit that 1 year mark, but what happened was I don't know, I just got really busy, and I don't know, it's been quite a journey, but we're here now. And also another reason this video took so long for me to even put together was because originally, like, I didn't know how to even like piece this together. Like, I originally wanted to talk about like her first year and her milestones, and like um her first 3 months and then her first 6 months, and then I was like, okay, but that, like, every baby's different, and does that really capture the first year? And then I'm like, what about me? So then I wanted to talk about my experience, but then it kind of just, I don't know, I wanted to piece both pieces together, if that makes sense. So I am gonna talk about just how being a first time mom like went for me, like what I didn't expect, what I did expect, what went right, what went wrong, and just like how she was as a baby, and things that like she taught me, and like just like really wonderful memories I had with her, and how we bonded, and all of that. So stay tuned. So a little bit of background on me before I get started. So I growing up, like, I was never around like babies. It was always just me and my brother, and I was just never surrounded by like newborns or anything. Like, I don't know, there was like times in my life where there was babies around, but I never, like, if you don't have a reason to like pay attention to the little details, you just see a baby and that's it. Like, I never had that, like, motherly instinct where you just want to grab every baby you see. Like, I don't know, babies were just babies. So um when I was pregnant, like, I didn't really know what to expect. All I knew was like babies are babies, and they're demanding, and that's it. So I feel like, when you're pregnant and all you hear is like, oh, you're never gonna sleep again, or it's not gonna be about you anymore. And sure, like, that stuff sounds kind of scary, but you have nothing to compare it to. Like, at the time, I had never gone like multiple nights without sleeping. So, people telling me like, you're never gonna sleep again, like, I was like, you know, like, okay, there's no turning back now. So, um, I think like the only time I had ever pulled an all-nighter before that was like college, and it was one night. So I was able to, like, you know, nap right after that was all over. But once you have a baby, it's a whole different show. So I wrote down a few things just so I wouldn't forget. So the first year, the beginning was the hardest. I'll never forget those first few days. They were so blurry. Literally, I was so tired and emotional. I could barely see straight. Um, Nothing gets you ready. I didn't grow up around any babies. I wasn't around friends who had babies. I really wasn't, like, um, no. When I got pregnant, I was the only one at the moment. in every circle of mine that was pregnant. So it was like there was no one to really talk to about what was going on. So I didn't really know what to expect. You hear a lot of "you'll never sleep again" or "it's never going to be about you anymore," and no matter how many times you hear that, you just don't feel it. Yeah, just like I just said, you have nothing to compare it to. The beginning was the hardest for me. The first few nights at home were rough. My eyes burned of lack of sleep and crying. Now, the reason I was crying was because, they say that once you deliver a baby, like your hormones are just like trying to, get back in line. So they're all over the place. So I remember crying for like anything. So Kevin was working all-nighters. He was working overnight at the time. So I remember the first night we were home, he had to like go back to work and I was devastated. And he worked like before that night, like he worked overnight for months or like that was his routine and I was always like, all right, babe, bye. And we would text, but this time it was different. I was crying and crying. So like, I don't know, you kind of just cry for no reason. That's one thing I did not expect. Like I thought I would have control over my emotions, but no. Yeah, my eyes burned of lack of sleep. So every baby's different, but for some reason Alina was not. She was like, now that I think about it, wow, she's always been a little fat butt. So she was not like a sleeper, like not at the beginning at least. Like she was one of those babies that would wake up every hour or two to eat. And I was nursing, so that was even harder. That alone, I can make a whole video about nursing. Oh my god, I don't know how to explain it. It was exhausting and challenging and yeah, it was a lot. So I was nursing and then I would put her in her bassinet like right next to me. Like I was one of those paranoid moms. Like I didn't think I was gonna be that way, but there was many reasons why I wouldn't sleep. Like I would sleep an hour to a night every day just because she was in the bassinet next to me and any funny noise I was like I was up and like just ready. So any funny noise, I was just always, sometimes I would just wake up to check if she was breathing, but I don't even know why I say wake up. I wasn't even asleep ever. Sometimes she would finally fall asleep and then I would hear her like crap herself and I had to wake her up to like change her diaper. I know, everyone handles that situation differently, but I just can't imagine sleeping in a lot of crap. So I would change her and she would wake up again and that was me. What else? She was just always hungry. She was always hungry, so I would feed her and sometimes like nursing, like she would fall asleep like barely a minute in and I was like, okay, so I would put her down and then she would start screaming and then I would try nursing and then it was like this whole challenge. So yeah, she wouldn't sleep. And when I would finally start dozing off, which I'm not one of those people that like can knock out in a minute, like I'll take a bit to doze off and then like as soon as I hit that like rapid eye movement phase of my sleep, then she's there like waking up and it was just tough. I think like the first 2 or 3 weeks were like that. It was crazy. It does become repetitive at one point, like even though it was challenging, like the sleeping part, like I had it down packed when it came to like changing her diaper and bathing her and just taking care of her and changing her, and it was rough, but also a little fun fact. So you know when they say that, like, oh, you're gonna bond with your baby as soon as you have your baby. For some reason, that, like, I don't know, in my experience, as soon as she was handed over to me, like, I was I was very happy and relieved, and just I couldn't wait to meet her. So I was happy, but like I didn't experience that like instant bond. It's because you're meeting someone for the first time. So that's how it was for me. And the first couple of days, like I loved her, I really did. But I was so scared. I'm like, we have not bonded. Like I hadn't bonded with her at least. And when I mean bonding, I mean like you just feel that whole that like we love each other, but like we had never. I don't know. Like when they're newborn, they're just like helpless, and they can't really express much to you or like look at you in the eye. So I guess I'm one of those people that like I need that connection. I can't just bond with like I don't know. I don't know. But I definitely bonded with her like I think like a week after we finally bonded, because she finally, like, I don't know, like just spending so much time together, like there was just a point where like she would look at me in the eye and I was like, wow, like I'm your mom, you know, and like you're my daughter. Like I wanted her to know that I was her mom. And you know, when they're so little like that, like anyone can hold them and they just, I don't know, they're just in arms. And I wanted her to like actually know that I was her mom when I was holding her. So yeah, that took I think like a week or two, but we bonded, and she knows who I am now, of course. um yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I definitely lost myself in the first few months. I was so busy being a mom, I kind of exiled myself from society. I don't know why I did that. I guess like it's like it's like learning how to walk. So I kind of wanted to be alone because I was so new at this that I didn't even know how to go anywhere and be like this new person. I was on maternity leave for 3 months, and I just dedicated those 3 months to taking care of her and, you know, building a bond. We became the best of friends, and no matter how tired I was just seeing her, I don't know. It's this unconditional thing I can't explain. Yeah, like I said, once like there were really rough times where taking care of her was a challenge, but like just seeing her little smile and her little face, and she looks just like her dad. I'll show you guys at the end. It's so cute. um yeah, it it's definitely life changing. You know, when people say your life is going to change, it does change. And I guess to break that part of it down, um, I would wake up, and to this day, like I wake up and I take care of two people at once. Like I can't just wake up and get myself ready. So, you know, I would wake up and feed her and dress her and change her. And then I would dress myself and get myself ready and bathe her, bathe me. And it was like, that's still my life to this day. And so you can't just get up in the morning, you can't just nap whenever you want. Like, my life did change forever. And I'm proud to say that I'm, I don't know, I do it without even like thinking twice about it. Like I don't wake up in the morning and even think about it. It's just a routine, and I love doing it. Like I don't know, like I was always that one friend that always, my friends watching this are gonna laugh. I was always that friend that would say, "Oh, I'm gonna be the last one to have kids," or "I'm gonna have kids when I'm 30," or "I'm never gonna have kids at all." Like that was always me, because like I said, I was never instantly like, I don't know, a motherly person. Um, but I was one of the first to have a baby, and I'm so, I don't know, it's like second nature to me now. Um, oh, body image issues. Okay, this one's interesting. So, in that time, I also had body image issues. I couldn't figure out how to make time for myself again. I didn't know how to find that balance. It took me a while. I lost some friends in the process, not in a bad way, but I felt contact just fading from people I used to go out with a lot. I still have a solid group of friends that stayed true to me and still are, and that's all that matters. So I wouldn't say that like sorry, just checking that this camera is still on. I didn't lose any friends like in a bad way. I didn't cut ties with anyone. It just, when you become a mom, and I've kind of read this a lot in other mom experiences, you don't, I mean, some people do like have beef, but I didn't. I lost friends, like friendships faded because you just can't have that old lifestyle, like unless you have like a nanny that like you have available at all times. Like in my life, like I just couldn't have that balance anymore. It was all about my baby the first year, like all about her. I couldn't go out anymore. I couldn't just drop everything and go somewhere. Like it was, yeah, I couldn't hang out with certain people anymore. And I still haven't seen them to this day. And it's not that, we're not like friends anymore. It's just, it's this, your life turns around and it's just how it is. Hopefully I'm able to see these people at some point. But yeah, that's how it is. That's another factor about like my life changing. I I did not expect to go through like body image issues. Um, Growing up, I like me and my brother were both like really, really, really skinny. Just we could always eat whatever we wanted, and I always took pride in that. And then when I got pregnant, I was a hungry pregnant, like, um, girl. Like, I ate everything. And I think that's okay. But once I had the baby, like, I had so much trouble shedding those pounds. Like, so much trouble. And then working out, like, I don't know, it becomes so much harder to, like, shed any kind of weight after you have a baby. And I really struggled with that. I struggled with body image issues. I barely even wanted to like I bought baggy clothes on purpose on Amazon like because I was so insecure. And that was definitely part of the first year. It's just I did not expect any of these things. Um so hold on. Oh yeah. Okay, so things I did not expect me to experience. So there's this funny little story I have. So I didn't know that I was gonna be like one of those moms that the whole like stop growing so fast. I didn't think it was gonna happen so quickly. So her first after her first like month or two, she outgrew like her first couple of onesies. And when she was a newborn, I would rotate. When she was a newborn, I would rotate like the same 10 outfits over and over because like they're gonna outgrow them so fast. So like I only had like a handful of them. And the day that like she just didn't fit in them anymore, and I did not know what to do. Like I cried so hard like looking at those onesies. And I still have them. I still have them to this day. I had to store them. I was sobbing that day. Like I was like so attached to her little vulnerable tiny newborn self. And I don't know. I can't believe I already have like outfits of her that I'm collecting because I couldn't let them go. So those that I promised myself I was gonna keep like every like outfit she outgrew because Come on. So I learned how to let go, but definitely the ones I have in the closet, like her first outfits that she outgrew, like I can't. If I had, like, if you paid me, like, I can't let them go. Okay, so the first year, I had to throw this in there because even though he's not in this video with me, because he's actually in the living room working, we're under quarantine. We're going through this whole coronavirus stuff. So he's working, I'm off today, so but I have to give a shout out to Kevin. He was honestly like the best support system I could have had. I know there's like many moms out there that do this alone, and I can't imagine, like, to this day I don't know how they do it. They really deserve a medal, because even though Kevin did help me out a lot, like, I still can't picture like this whole journey without his help. So shout out to single moms or dads, and shout out to Kevin for being the best dad ever. He really, we both made it out of the first year alive. He helped me in the middle of the night when she, like, I would feed her and he would wake up to burp her. I would come home from work and he was already home, and he was, you know, like, just holding her at like 3 months old. It was like this whole routine we had together, but we had each other's back the whole time, and that is one thing that I'm super, super, super grateful for, because it's not easy. Like, the first year is not easy. It's hard, and depending on what kind of baby you have, like, it could be harder. And overall, like, Alina was always like, she was always a chill baby, but when she was upset, it was like World War III. I'm just kidding. That was awful. Yeah, like, she was a handful sometimes. So he helped me when it came to like anything. You know, sometimes you need a break as well, and he was always there whenever like I needed some time off. Things I didn't expect. I didn't expect nursing or pumping to be so hard and demanding. I thought, like, you know, you see moms nursing like in public, and they look, if you've ever seen a mom nursing, like, she looks pretty calm, right? So that's the picture I always had in my head about nursing. Like, I thought it was just like, you do it and you do it. No, it's definitely something very challenging that no one talks about really, and I'm here to express that it's a whole job in itself. And it's tough because I actually wanted her to get, like, you know, the best that she can possibly get nutrition wise. So I had to like tough it out and do what I had to do just for her to like get those nutrients. And I went back to work after 3 months, and I was working full time, taking care of her right after, and, you know, nursing or pumping, and it was tough. We made it up to like 7 months, but after that it was just way too much. I didn't have the time, or I wasn't producing at that point, so we had to stop that there. Things I wish I knew before I became a mom. I wish I knew how to not let comments get to me. That is something that really hit me like a truck. Like, I didn't know how much, and I've seen this in a lot of videos and vlogs and blogs. You receive a lot of unsolicited advice. So, you know, some of it is definitely like very helpful, like, you know, when our parents or grandparents give us advice. But when it's like a lot of people at once, and you're trying to like learn how to do this as well, and you're, you know, creating your own routine that you think is right, and sometimes you get questioned for things you're doing or feeding your child, and it's just a lot. I'm not here to say that everything was negative or overwhelming, but sometimes like people don't really give you advice. They kind of just throw what they think you should be doing at you, and it's just like, it's a little bit too much sometimes. And I don't know, I cried. I broke down one day, like last year, because it was like just piling up on me. And ever since then, like, I wish that I was more prepared for that. Definitely wasn't prepared when it was happening, and now I feel like if I were to do this again, I would be a whole different person. Like, I wouldn't let things get to me, or I would probably have like an opinion of my own. I would be very stern on my decisions, and that's it. Like, I wouldn't get so emotional about it, if that makes any sense. Um, but overall, there was a lot of stuff that did help me out when it came to being a first time mom. Um, I wish I knew how to balance my life more and my relationship. I kind of like got overwhelmed um, with a new baby in my life. Like, I felt like that's all I had to do, and I kind of neglected like my relationship and just my social life in general and myself. And sometimes I don't know, like, I just never made time for myself and other things, and my relationship, just because I thought that I had to cater to this new baby 24/7. And I, was a little bit possessive as well. Like, I was just always wanting to be around her. Like, even if someone else was holding her, like, my eyes were on her. And I feel like if I were to do this again, I would kind of step back and not be so, I don't know, like, it's good to catch a break. It's good to, um, focus on your hobbies and your loved ones and your partner. Um, I don't know. I really did not know how to balance any of that. So that was something that I would definitely took as a lesson for the next time if it happens. Oh, this one's good. I wish I didn't compare myself to other moms, or like compare my baby to other babies. This is an easy one to like get caught up in, like if you have social media, or yeah, if you have social media. Sometimes um, some moms will snap back like faster than others, and some moms will just not snap back for years. And if you like follow those moms that like look like they never had a child and you compare yourself to them, you're gonna really um, go through it. And if you see a baby that's like, I don't know, fatter than yours or bigger than yours, or like dresses better than yours, I don't know, or is eating differently, that can also take a toll on you. Luckily, I learned early on, like, I promised myself I wasn't going to compare my baby ever, ever, ever. And thank God for that realization, because I would have been a train wreck if I did. Um, and no baby's the same. Like, that's why this video, like, I didn't want to make it about her, because no baby's the same. Every baby's super different. So every experience is going to be different. Things I learned. So I learned what unconditional love was. To this day, like, I do things for her, and it's not a bother. It's not extra work for me. Like, it's just natural. Like, whenever someone tries to talk about unconditional love, like, some people can't explain it, because it's just happens. It's like this love you can't explain. I also learned not to compare milestones. This one was a big one in my life. So my baby girl, she was always very healthy. She still is. But she was she was always like, I wouldn't say lazy, but she was always like she was a very late crawler and a very late walker. Like, she was like, I think she started crawling at like close to her first birthday. I'm not even joking. And it was tough because at the time I had a lot of babies, um, like, okay, so a few of friends all had babies at the same time. Like, not the same month, but like the same 3 month period. Like, there was like at least four babies on my social media that were all growing up at the same time. Like, I would say like four of them. So, and then inside the family as well, there was like another baby that was like 2 months older. So there was always like this pressure to be caught up to these other babies. And I'm telling you, she was a very late crawler, and constantly being asked like, oh, is she crawling yet, is she crawling yet, like that was really tough for me, because she was perfectly fine. And like, not crawling at a certain age doesn't make you like um unhealthy. So it was a lot. So she was a late crawler, and she's like, the moment she started crawling, like she wouldn't stop. Like, that's it, she was crawling forever. And then when it came to walking, she was late. Like, she was probably, I think she started walking like after a year and maybe a year and 3 months, I would say. And, like, once she started walking, like, we can't stop her. Like, she's unstoppable. So she walked, she crawled, she eventually got there. So, being a first time parent, when your kid is a little delayed on certain things, like, you get scared, you get worried, and then you get frustrated when other parents are asking you, like, oh, she's not walking yet, and it's like, eventually, like, I've learned now that she's bigger, that you can't just worry about the little things like that. Like, once they do start these milestones, like, there's no stopping them. So just let them do things at their own pace, they'll be okay. And then lastly, I just wanted to like be thankful for the help I had like that first year. She's actually not here right now because she's with her great grandma, and that is like, who can say that their great grandma like took care of them? Like, she actually took over when she was 2.5 months, because I had to go back to work. I'm a full-time working mom, and a lot of people have to do babysitting. I mean, yeah, babysitting or daycares. And I was so lucky to have like Kevin's grandmother like take this job, which is not even a job for her. Like, she genuinely loves her baby. And yeah, I'm so thankful that I got, blessed with that kind of help and love. And she also took care of me after the surgery. I was bedridden for almost a month, and I think she took care of me during those couple of first months where I had to like recover and eat healthy, and that was amazing. My parents and his parents, good Lord, they are obsessed with this little girl. Like, I do not exist when she's around in the room. Like, they just love this little girl so much. And those are her grandparents, and she is so blessed to have them. And then I'm also thankful for everyone else in my family, like my uncle, my brother, his brothers. Like, she is full of so much love, and that is something that, I don't know, it's not something that's easy to come by. And then, of course, I'm thankful for Kevin. I'm actually gonna bring him over. Kevin! Kevin!
Yeah, babe.
Come here!
Oh, babe, wait. I'm eating.
Oh, okay. He's actually eating. Yeah, I'm so blessed to have him in my life. Even though he's not in this video, he's working. Nothing happened. He's working, and I don't know. I just really wanted to summarize my first year of motherhood, and it was great. It was great, and if I feel like if I had to do this all over again, I would have this down packed. Like, there's nothing that can train you for that first year. And the first time parent thing, you know, like there's books out there, there's like videos, like articles on like how to survive the first year, and like um you know what to expect when you're expecting. And like I said, no baby's the same. There's no book that's perfectly catered to your baby. No mom is the same. You know, some moms will experience baby blues, postpartum depression, or like some moms are built for it. I have friends that like never really cried. They don't even know what PPD means, you know, and good for them. Good for them. Um, and yeah, like for me, it was definitely a journey. And as you guys, you know, heard, I did experience some like baby blues, and just I'm just glad that I made it through that first year. And it's such a like bittersweet feeling, because once they start walking and once they become a toddler, in my opinion, like things get easier, because just a little bit, you know, just because they're not so vulnerable and they're like their own little person, and they become a little more independent. Like she's independent, and don't get me wrong, like it's still really hard. Running after her is not easy. She's constantly falling now, and all of that, but definitely easier than that first year. Um, yeah, I feel so much better now. I forgot to mention that she actually started sleeping at 2.5 months. She started sleeping the whole night. So just letting you guys know that I did find I did finally start sleeping at the beginning. Um, so it wasn't always difficult. It's like a very gradual change. The first year they change so fast, like literally from newborn to 3 months, completely different baby. From 3 months to 6 months, completely different baby. And 1 year, again, completely different baby. Like they change so much on you, so you don't feel, and then it's all gradual. Like you can't really tell, you see them every day, so you don't feel like the change happened fast. So you know, that very beginning where I wasn't sleeping and I was just like, I couldn't even make up the time, you know, that was rough. But I can't really remember when it started going away and I started to feel better. I can't remember like when it started getting a little easier. It was so gradual, and like now I'm here and I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm back on my feet and I can work out again and like just build a life, and just build a life that I can balance. So yeah, the first year is rough, but it has its highlights. And you know, everyone experiences different. This was my experience, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. I'd love to hear your experiences. Leave a comment, make a video and tag me on it. You know, just I'd love to hear other moms tell me how they thrived, you know, whether they were, you know, alone through it all, whether they had a partner, whatever the case may be. You know, like I want to know how you guys made it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys again.
Well, yeah, the first year. I mean, she started getting a little attitude after 8 months, I would say. Just about. Is when she really started like lashing out. But she was very calm. Like very calm in the early months. 3 to up to 6, like she was really calm. We would put her down and she'll knock out for the most part. I know it was rough for you when I was at work overnight. But she was a calm baby. She was a calm baby, and I
How
loved
did
every
you
moment
feel
of it.
when the first year was over? Relieving?
Not even relieving, because I don't know. I guess just happy that we made it through the first year. I
It
guess
was hard.
it was hard that we made it through the first year, and that she's healthy, strong, and just blessed to have her. So
Well,
I
I just
was
wanted to say thank you for, like, just, I don't know, being there all the time and burping her
I'm
at, like,
glad.
many times of the night. And, yeah, It wasn't easy, but we made it, and yeah.
You're welcome, babe. It was my pleasure. I mean, I remember everything from the beginning to the end, and I would do it all over again. I would do it all over
Do you
again.
feel like you're more ready now for, like, if you had another one?
I feel like I'm more ready, of course, definitely, because I got past some training with the first one, and hopefully she's just as calm. And if she's any crazier, then yeah, I say she because I have a feeling it's gonna be a girl. I have a feeling, but yeah, I feel like I'm more ready, babe.
Okay, well, thank
Of
you.
course, baby, I love you.
Talk to you later.
Peace out, guys.
What, the Legos? Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
Alina, say C. C. Alina, C. Hey! Alina, C. Mama, C.